What's going on, everyone? I'm DeFi Sean, and this is Infinaeon Friday. And as usual, hit that like button, subscribe button, share button, repost button, whatever platform you're looking at or watching on. Go ahead, share it everywhere so we can get as many people on this live here today, especially for this one. We got some pretty big news for a direction that we're going. It is all related to Lunar Pump Fund Soul. And we are going to go ahead and let the guys introduce themselves. We got our guy, Mr. Pixels, the man, the myth. And then, of course, we have our guy, Mike. What is going on, guys?
What is up? What up, ninjas? How's everybody doing? Glad to be back for another Infinaeon Friday, of course. Big news today. It's been a very, very busy week, as always. Knocking out them spaces and all that stuff every day, and the million other things we got to do. But yeah, looking forward to a good show. Mike, how you doing, bro?
Hello. What's up, Infinian Army? Yeah, I'm doing well. Let's start a great show. We have some good news. Holy sh! Yeah, we're on time. You see, Joe is not here. Yeah.
Clearly. Yep.
No Squid Go Joe means we're on time, which also means that people will be showing up late, no doubt, thinking that we're going to start 5 minutes late. But always have to keep you on your toes. Sometimes we start late, sometimes we don't. But yeah, Joe's traveling today, so he will be back for Moon Monday, at least as far as I know. So let's go ahead.
Hey, I just want to say before we kind of dive in, I just want to see how I think it's good. We'll touch base, see how everybody's week's been, see how things are going on the chat there before we dive right in. How's your week been, Sean? You've been crazy busy as always. I know I've been divvying out those spaces, but you've been doing a lot in the background.
Always busy. You know, you guys have been handling some of the other spaces this week. I know I was on the mega or mini mega spaces that Victus, one of our partners, had. Went really well. Had 5 minutes to knock out the entire presentation of Infinion, which for anyone that follows Infinion knows that 5 minutes to break down the whole ecosystem is definitely not something easy to do. 10 minutes is definitely more ideal. But yeah, we had that spaces, of course, working tons in the background, making sure that everything's coming. We have some really big news today that we think everyone's going to be excited for. Again, it's going to kind of attach to that Lunar Pump Fund Soul. But yeah, Mike, what have you been up to?
Yeah, first, I'm glad you can do big things within 5 minutes. So we're happy for you.
He did a good job.
I know you have 2 children, so you did it well so far. Amazing work here.
Mike, I'm waiting for you to see you doing the next shill. I want to see you getting up there and doing a full shill one of these days.
He did a German AMA for us a while ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, I want to hear it in an English one, an English version. Come on, you got to get in spaces. I want to see a Mike.
Hey, sure. I'm on many spaces, so you can hear me a lot of times, you know. And I'm here as well. I speak English. If you can hear me, sir.
Yeah, you do. You speak very well. Mike.
Yeah. Next time we speak German here, and yeah, let's do this. You have 1 week, guys, to study.
All right, yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, and those Victus guys, they're good partners too as well, and they got some good reach. They go to a lot of events and stuff, so trying to make our presence on those spaces is important, of course, along with all the other ones too. But you know, it's all part of building out this kind of marketing thing as we're going. But yeah, it's been a good week. We had Lunar Pump Radio as well yesterday. We did have a big project that was supposed to come on but I think they backed out last minute or something like that, Sean, right? Or some kind of
we I'm already forgetting the name of the project. We had a good project come in and fill though.
Star or something, or
I'm forgetting the name of it, but yeah, it was very interesting. But yeah, it's just something we're looking to do with Lunar Pump Radio, bringing in other projects, again, just expanding from community to community. As you can see, I have on the screen the partnership with iFlux Global, and it's all about just creating those partnerships. So we want to bring people on to talk about their projects, even if they aren't associated with Infinion or even necessarily Lunar Pump, especially on the spaces, because again, it's just connecting those two communities. So of course, his community is going to come over and listen to what he has to say. And by doing so, they're going to get introduced to, in yesterday's case, Lunar Pump Fund. Before we got started, I gave a breakdown of exactly what Lunar Pump Fund is. So, just continuing to get those introductions to different communities, which is why we are forming all these partnerships like with like you see on the screen with iFlux Global. So, and we're going to continue to do so, more partnerships. Like you said, Victus, man, they are, when it comes to VCs, you're not going to find a better partner than them. They are truly interested and invested into making every token they support bigger and better, because we know a lot of VCs, they don't care. They'll destroy the chart, different things like that. Victus doesn't. So I will say Victus is a great partner to have, along with Growthy, which is our marketing partner. Socials are growing like crazy. And then on top of the first campaign where people just joined, like the Twitter account and stuff like that, I don't have the list in front of me, but I know on the next campaign, Mr. Pixels, you can speak to this too. We're going to require you to actually interact on our chain and do different things, hold the token in order to be eligible for prizes. So instead of just, following socials and stuff, you're going to have to interact on the bridge, hold Infinaeon, different things like that. So we're going to be giving away some pretty big prizes, but you're going to have to interact with our products. We're doing that with Infinaeon, and we're also probably going to do like a separate campaign, more than likely on the Lunar Pump side. So we're going to give away rewards, but in order to get that, it's not just like following the Lunar Pump Twitter account, which that would be something you would do, but it'll also be, you have to actually use the platform and different things like that to be eligible. So, it's not just people hunting and chasing prizes. It's actually going to be required for you to actually interact with our products, which is obviously the ultimate goal.
Yeah, and for those of you that aren't familiar, this is constantly going on. So you just gotta go and follow the links there on the main X account. I believe is the best way to kind of get involved, but they do it through Zeely. I'm sure a lot of people here are familiar with Zeely and Zeely Quest and that kind of thing, but they've been around for a long time. They're constantly upping their game, and they've been developing out all this time too. But they're able to basically track your actions across social media for those that aren't familiar. And basically what you do is you'd sign up, you'd connect, let's say, your X account or whatever it is that you're using, so they can make that connection. And it's kind of run on a points-based system. So there's certain quests then that get divvied out, and for doing certain activities, liking, retweeting, commenting, writing your own posts, things like that, is what's currently going on, which is what Sean was referring to there at the start. And basically you get points for each interaction you do, the speed that you do it at, the more engagement, all that kind of stuff. But you can see each individual quest, what the points and rewards are for each one. And of course, within Zeely itself, then you just have a massive community of people that do this, right? And they just jump around and look for new projects that pop up, look for the quests, look for the rewards, and they get out there. So when you see a lot of people that you're not familiar with that are making Infinion posts, that's probably why that is happening, because there's people in there that kind of just do this all the time. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in there probably make a decent living off doing those quests, because people put up some good prizes for those. But yeah, so that's the Zeely. And then what Sean is referring to is an add-on that is going to be actual interaction with our products, Dex, Bridge, all that stuff. So you will, and in addition to the social media interactions, you'll also garner points for interacting with those things. And we actually had a meeting with them last week, and we had to up our plan and get them to give us more subscriptions, because the guys were saying this was the first time they had to do that, because there was so much interaction with the Infinion stuff. So they're really happy. The Growthy guys are really happy with how that's coming along. So yeah, it's great to hear it. And yeah, I'm excited for all these things to roll out. People can start earning Infinion and all that, prizes and things. Competitions are going to start ramping up. And we're going looking at bringing a lot of developers over to and building that side out now as everything else is growing, and we start highlighting other things. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this. And of course, these partnerships is awesome, as always. And as well, just to touch on what you were saying just before with the Victus guys, that was one thing he mainly pointed out, was that, and another guy actually in Lunar Pump Radio yesterday, was those PFPs, they hit hard. People always say it. They're like, man, I see those PFPs everywhere these days. Everybody knows about it. So, and that's the beauty of these spaces. It's that, it's the old propagandist trick, right? You surround people's environment with this. It's marketing 101, and the more we can do it, the more people start to, that recognition comes in, and then that's how you eventually work your way up to being a household name, you know, that brand recognition. That's what we're trying to achieve. So do not underestimate the PFPs. All right, okay, that's my rant over.
I mean, PFPs are a huge deal. Again, it's probably the biggest form of marketing. And again, this is a big time utility project. Most people want instant gratification. So, you know, they tend to fade utility projects in the beginning. You know, everyone wants to be in the ground floor of something, but I always say no one's willing to be in the ground floor of something, because people that were, and I'm not saying we're Solana or even promising we would come anywhere near Solana, but the people that were in the ground floor of Solana, they held that for years before it actually took off. Same thing with your other Mantle and all of your other L2s that we've kind of taken looks at it before. They had to hold that for years. So to be in the ground floor of something isn't just, hey, I got in on day one. It's a $2 billion company or something like that. It's something that takes time to build. And again, this is something that we are going to continue to keep building. And the fact that we're performing like 20, 40% better than what most of these Zealy campaigns run is awesome. And the fact that just, again, the brand awareness is starting to get there. The promotional material is awesome, like from the logo to all the content that Mr. Pixels and his crew puts out. I mean, it stands out. So it's just a matter of time until everything starts to hit. So just, you know, guys, be patient. We're right here working every single day. We will always be here. Lunar Pump Fun Soul is going to be an awesome addition. I got the quotes today or yesterday for all of the different places that we want to be. I think when it comes to this, our Lunar Pump Fun, we are probably going to veer more towards Web3. Like with the pre-sale of Infinaeon, we did a lot of Web2. So you'll see us a lot of on Web2 sites. Well, now we're going to be a lot of Web3 with Deck Screener and different things like that. So you'll start seeing the Infinaeon or Lunar Pump, ads starting to run on those things when the time comes here in the next month or two. And when you click it, it'll bring it to the platform and different things.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, being on the ground floor or something, man, like that's a rough ride. I mean, when you're starting out, like any startup, Web 2 or Web 3, no matter what, like when you're building something up like this, you know, it's rough, dude. You know, a lot of the time there's, you know, funds are scarce and this and that. And most of the time you're probably trying to build the product. You're trying to get the money in so you can build it. And then you got to try and, you know, hang on in there while it's being built, and you got to market it, you know, and all the time you got to do seed rounds and this and that, you know. So it's, even in Web 2, it's volatile. But like we're in a situation now where everything is built, you know. Yeah, the chart is volatile, of course. I mean, with everything that's going on in the world, like, you know, it's a very volatile time for crypto and just money in general, right? The financial system in general. But that's what I mean. Like being on the ground floor or something is rough, dude. It's a rough journey, and that's why like you have to have the conviction. That's why when you make that conviction play, you come out the other end as, you know, not just, you know, someone who got lucky, but you're someone that held and like actually made it through, did it, held the conviction, and you become wiser and smarter for doing that, you know. And you kind of, you invest in yourself also when you're doing that, you know what I mean? So when you come out the other end and you said, fuck it, I held, I did it, and I got rewarded for it, like, you know, that's not just a financial gain, it's a mental gain as well, right? So it gives you that confidence moving forward, and then you got the money to back it up, you know. And then you have a good gauge then for maybe another project that you see and say, all right, am I seeing the same things here, you know? So you're a little further down the line, more experience, you're all the wiser. So, you know, hang in there. Don't cry too much about charts right now. I mean, everything is in the shitter. I mean, let's be honest, right? Let's take it over to Crypto Over Red Bull and see what the week's charts are like.
It's definitely not going to be Monday when I do my updates on Crypto Over Red Bull. It's definitely not going to be probably the most bullish update ever. But, and you know, there's no such thing as like overnight success. Everyone thinks that Solana was an overnight success. Like the first business I opened when I was about 22, we didn't really become successful and busy until year 5. And then a lot of people that had maybe just started coming at that time and saw how crazy we were, like to them, it was an overnight success, but it wasn't an overnight success. I spent 5 years, 70 hours a week building that business. But, you know, that's how people think, you know, everyone's an overnight success when they achieve any kind of accomplishment. But most of those times, those people were working for years to get and become that quote unquote overnight success. Like Solana wasn't an overnight success, they took years to get to where they're at. But people that maybe just found out about Solana when it skyrocketed, to those people, it was an overnight success. And Infinion is no different. I'm hoping that we are going to become a quote unquote overnight success, but it's anything but overnight. Of course, it takes time. And yeah, Drive Token was the name of the token. That was on the Pump Radio.
That was it. Mike, how you feeling about the market at the moment, sir? You must be loving it. ETH had the little pump, but then, of course, literal war broke out. So that was into that.
Well, I don't like the market right now. Thanks for asking.
Mike giving some sound analysis of the market. He doesn't like it.
Yeah. That's my analysis. Yeah. It's short and honest, Don't like the market. I like peace. I like harmony, and I like a bullish market. This is what I like.
You gotta buy the fear, though, right? That's what they say. Buy the fear.
Yeah, buy the fear and peace. This would be amazing,
Yeah. So I guess the good news.
One thing before we roll into the news. Bits. So we added a little bit more funds actually to the wallet that's going to distribute. I talked to Matt this morning. It should be done. If it's not, it might even already be done. I haven't talked to him all day since. But I know that they're on the last little bit, finishing up the DApp. Everyone should have their bits in their wallet. Every single person should be airdropped. And then once the DApp's completely finished, which it should be getting finished today, we're going to go ahead and drop that first round of funds. And then it kind of depends, I guess, what the revenue looks like. Maybe do it once a month. Maybe we do it every Friday. It just kind of depends, I guess, what the revenue. But we'll kind of set a date and time regardless of the revenue, whether it's huge or it's not as big, that will kind of maybe drop. So we'll talk about it maybe once a week or maybe once a month, kind of see what works the best. And, of course, we can modify that as time goes on. But just want to give an update on the bits. The DApp is almost done. Once it's done, then everyone will be able to go claim their rewards from the Infinion ETH. Remember, it's on the Infinion network you're going to claim. So you are going to have gas money. If you don't, you're going to have to bridge your ETH over to Infinion ETH over at bridge.infinion.com. So make sure you have your Infinion ETH ready. And there's no rush. Your rewards are your rewards. So it's not like a race to get there or anything, but just make sure you have your Infinion ETH ready.
Can you could you pull up a look at that dashboard, Sean, if you got it there? And for those that are viewing or maybe newcomers or whatever, if you're not familiar with what the bits are, they're basically an NFT. We renamed them. We call them bits, blockchain income tokens. And what I'll do is we'll give you a quick look at them. They generate revenue for everybody holding 4,200 in total. And I believe it's 5% of the overall fees. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. I was going to make sure that. But here, check out this advert and see what they look like. They are currently spinning in everybody's wallets right now, generating awesome news. Exquisite. I remember actually we were on a Spaces there. I think it was just when the growthy campaign was kicking off, and this one guy was on there talking pretty much about NFTs. I'm not sure if you were in that one as well, Sean, if you remember or not, but he was literally saying, like, do not use the word NFT. And he was saying, do not even use the word crypto, right? When you're talking to like normies and stuff, because like they just trigger people that are not into it so much. They just think scam, like they just have this negative reaction automatically. And that's, this is one of his big things. So and this was something we had kind of done even before that. But yeah, we decided we'd call them bits, kind of just to, mix it up a little bit. But hey, there they are, generating. How awesome is that? They look great.
Yeah, they look amazing. Seeing them here on the Explorer, it looks really sweet. Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Someone is asking there, when or how can we see the bits in the Infinion wallet? I believe Matt is not here today.
Yeah, that would be more of a Matt question if they're not showing up in the wallet.
As far as I know, sorry, go ahead.
I want to say he's already gotten with the wallet team about that, but I could be wrong.
I believe he has. I think I saw it in the back room. He might have messaged him. About that and another thing as well. I think he was working on. So, there he is. All right, there's our answer.
Oh, there I was muted. So yeah, MetaMask works great. So yeah, it looks like they're gonna be adjusting some stuff. So we'll be good. Very cool.
Yeah, hell yeah, they're looking great. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for the update. Catch Matt on Moon Mondays, every Moon Monday. If you want to have the Dev live in studio, that's Fridays are a little more difficult for Matt, but having the live Dev on Moon Mondays, if you do have anything specific or you just want to come in and badger him, then that's fine too. Mondays he'll be live on the shows usually, more often than not. All right, who's ready for some news?
Oh, everyone is dying for some news.
All right. Well,
but maybe we haven't got enough We haven't got enough of the win news, so we're gonna have to get a couple of those before we share that.
I agree. Has anyone seen the merch store? I'm kidding.
If you haven't, though, you need to go pick up your merch for 100%.
Yeah,
go pick up that merch.
Because we talk about the PFPs and we talk about all that and having your banners and t-shirts, dude. That's your public in real life. Billboard, right? So the more you can have it out there, like I said, I'm trying more designs. I believe there might be someone else also here that is working on some designs. Is that right? Do I have that correct, Mike? I don't.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Mike. I was having some issues getting him admin rights, but I got to get him admin rights to the account so he can.
If I could.
Well, if you're having issues, Mike, feel free just to you can send me the design and I can just get it set up for you if you want. That's no problem. If you're having issues connecting, and you got one ready to go,
I will just tell you my ideas and you do it. How about that?
But yeah, get on over there, straight out of Uranus. I mean, come on, right?
We need the special Krypton edition. This is very important.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
Just saying, Kryptonite will never have his own t-shirt. So, yeah.
Mike has captured the store, and all Kryptonite will never be on there. All right, you're gonna have to beat him. You're gonna have to. Whoever bonds first, right, will get a T-shirt in the store. How's that?
There you go. Bond your favorite.
No, I didn't say this. No
We're gonna go Kryptonite. Yeah, Kryptonite. Come on, guys. Let's get them bonded. Let's get that merch.
No way. If you bond Kryptonite, I'm out of here. I will leave crypto forever.
And of course, we just added our bits too last week. Those bit t-shirts. I know there's been some. I'm working on some phone cases at the moment. I know I kind of said that in Moon Monday, but
yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
It's been a hectic week.
I like the phone cases.
But yeah,
I'll pick me up a phone case for sure. But I think it's time. We're getting a lot of win. I think they want to know.
All right, okay. Let's rock it.
Well, take the dough and beat it. I never leave without finishing my drink.
All right. So we're going to have two pieces of news. I'm going to start us off with the first piece and we can talk about that and then we can go into the second part. So the first piece of news, next week, we're going to be going live with Infinion on the Solana blockchain. It's not a new token. It's the same supply, same everything. Bridge is ready to go. You will be able to bridge your Infinion tokens from Infinion to Solana and back again. No, we are going to have an LP on both Radium and Meteor. So we can go ahead and collect that 1% fee, which yes, bits always get 5% of that. So I know that question is going to come. So so that's going to be the first piece of news. So obviously Solana is the biggest change. So now we're giving everyone the opportunity to go ahead and buy the Infinion token or Infinion/Sol in this case on the blockchain. And just to clarify, this is not a new token, just like Infinion is on ETH on Uniswap or paired with Infinion on Infinity Swap or paired with USDT on Bitmart. It's the same supply. We're going to be bridging tokens over, going live on Radium, so that whole platform of tens of millions of transactions will have the ability to go ahead and buy Infinion. And same thing, if you want to hold your Infinion over on Solana, you can bridge your Infinion from ETH to Infinion and then, of course, to Solana. So that is going to be an option for anyone that wants to hold it wherever they want. Now, there's an additional piece of news on why we're doing this. But yeah, let's go ahead. And, Mr. P, Mike, if you want to give your thoughts about the Infinion token going live on Solana.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Mikhail.
Monica. Hello. Okay, he might be.
All right, he must have got booted.
Yeah, he does it. He works a day job too. I know he's got a busy.
Yeah,
in real life.
I'm sorry. I'm in the office. I opened my beer, but now I had an important phone call. So,
more important,
guys, I'm back in a few minutes. You know, I'm bullish on the Solana launch, but tell him more. I'm back in a few minutes.
All right, Mr. P, what you got?
Shame on you.
How
Mike.
you feeling about this?
I'm feeling good. Shame on you, Mike. Nothing's more important than Infinion Friday. There's no more important phone call you could get right now. I'm sorry, but I'm kidding. I busted your balls. Dude, I'm pumped about it. I think it's great. I think the more access that we have, especially given like Lunar Pump and, you know, the massive push that's going to be coming as regards, you know, rolling Solana out there, having the ICO feature. I think having Infinion on there so that people can like access direct even from Lunar Pump, right? They want to buy Infinion Sol direct. Hey, go get them. Is the goal to have that like the main currency within Lunar Pump then, or what is that? Is that the thoughts, or what are you thinking in that regards?
Yeah, yes. So kind of why we're doing this. So obviously having LP pools anywhere and everywhere you can, from Bitmart to MEXC, bridging to any blockchain is always going to be a big thing because you want to give people the opportunity to buy, because we have in our network alone so many Solana maxis will not come to ETH, will not come to BNB, will not come to Infinion. They will only operate on Solana. But the biggest reason why we're making the move over to Solana is because of Lunar Pump Fund Sol. So the way we're doing it is with Lunar Pump Fund Sol, right out the bat, 50% of the revenue generated is going to be getting kicked back to the users and to the developers. So if you have a project that's creating volume, the deployer wallet's going to get the cha-ching function that we have going on. If you're a wallet that's creating volume on Lunar Pump Fund, you're going to be getting rewarded with that 50% of revenue. So the way this is going to work, the Infinion native token's first use case is it's going to be the distribution token of Lunar Pump Fund Sol. So instead of just collecting that 50% in Solana and then distributing it to all the holders of the platform, the users and the developers, that 50% is going to automatically buy Infinion on the Sol side, of course, because the token is a native Sol. So it's going to automatically go ahead and buy the chart, and it's going to distribute the Infinion token to all of the users, both the investors and the developers, instead of Solana. So people, whether they realize it or not, that use the platform are going to become holders of Infinion. Of course, it's going to put volume on the chart. It's going to create holders. And of course, if they want to go ahead and sell that for Solana, awesome. Again, it would just be it would just zero out and create volume if every single reward collected got sold. So we're giving it its first use case, and Infinion is going to be the official token of the Lunar Pump Fund Sol platform. So all that money that's going to be collected, we just do the math. We do 1% of Pump Fund, just get 1% market share. That alone will be hundreds of thousands of dollars a year if not more, buying the token to distribute it. And remember, with the other profit that we take, a portion of that will also be buying and burning Infinion, which will probably be done on the EVM side with that portion of the revenue. So it's just actually giving the token a use case. Up until this point, it was the benefactor of a lot of the products. Of course, it gets bought via the revenue we created, but this is giving it a real use case, being, again, that distribution token of the whole platform. So something we're really excited about. And again, it's all about creating volume and different things like that and just giving the token more use cases.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of saying too, like early on, like at the start, of course, people didn't know then, but you know, don't got to worry about that chart, man. Like once the products roll out, or you know, and because like as Sean was saying, that's just Lunar Pump, right? But then you got all the other things that are generating too, right? So even down to the merch and other things like that, right? Everything goes back into the ecosystem here. That's the whole idea of this entire thing. So I think it's great. I think it's a genius idea. Pop that in there, make that benefit the chain even more, add those transactions, make it that like native token of Lunar Pump 2. I think it's genius, but like when you actually look at it and think about it, you're like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. You know, makes maximum sense for the chain, for Lunar Pump, for the token, you know. And you know, the reality also is that people look at the chart. Lots of people do, especially when you're talking about the Solana side and the meme coin side. And a lot of people have been conditioned to trade like that and to be used to that because, you know, our memes are very easily accessible for most people. So when people normies come over, most of the time the only experience that they do have is meme tokens. So when they kind of drift over to something like a DeFi project that is a long-term play, it's not what they're used to, you know. And a lot of times, you know, FUD can creep in, which is something we always address any and every time it pops up, of course, nothing to hide ever. But I think when they see that, so like obviously having the chart good for those particular types of investors looks great, but the people in the conviction plays right now is solid. And I think having that locked in, having it on Solana, you're opening it up to that market too, right? Because the goal for any and all businesses, again, circling back to that, Web 2 or Web 3, you know, this does carry over. You want to be available to be used in as many places as possible. It's no different to a credit card wanting to be in every store, right? Wanting to be at every ATM, right? Being able to be used there, have their card be able to be used to be purchased and this and that. So it's no different. You want as much access as you can for as many markets as possible. And you know, with Lunar Pump, we want to tap into that meme market. We need to like offer as much, but we also want it in the ethos of what Infinion is all about. It's got to deliver back to the chain itself. And the more ways we can kind of think of to make sure that happens, and the devs and Matt and all the guys in the background there, constantly thinking of ways to do it, constantly thinking of that. And of course, you know, like I said, with all the other products that are coming, they're all generating too. The bits are up and running. The marketing is really starting to roll out. Man, I'm pumped. I think this is an awesome announcement. I think this should make people really, really bullish right now. And if I was people, I'd be getting in and buying up that Infinion chart before this happens and let the wins begin, I guess. But yeah, the ICO coming, Solana coming, now Infinion, still waiting on that. But yeah, Solana, ICO, that is going to be the next iteration of Lunar Pump, and then you add in the token on top of that right now. Dude, bullish as fuck. Solana coming in hot, baby. I
All
cannot
right.
wait. Sean, I
Let's
was just going to say too, man, if because I know it's good to try and go over this because I know we're up at like 136 viewers right now, which is great. We're across multiple platforms, but if you wanted to give maybe just a quick breakdown to some of the newbies in here about what the ICO feature actually means to people.
Yeah, so the ICO option on Lunar Pump that's coming is something that we're calling the initial community offering. It's a play on words like the initial coin offering. So when you launch your token, everyone's very familiar with Pump Fund and how when you launch it, you choose the dev buy option and you buy that first little bit, however much you want to be as the developer. So you can buy 10, 15, I don't even know if there's a cap on it. So you go ahead and make that buy. So with the ICO option, you can make it a community wallet instead of a dev wallet. So the dev will not buy, the community will buy. Once that is selected, you can choose a multitude of options to customize it. You can make it whitelisted like you could on any presale. You can make it public. You can choose, hey, I just want to fill up half of the bonding curve and then make, public for the rest. So let's, for example purposes, say you want to fill up that whole thing, which on the EVM side is 4.2 ETH. So what will happen is the community will begin to contribute to that wallet. Once 4.2 ETH is hit and it bonds, it's going to take that and distribute the tokens to all of the holders. So if you put in 1% of that 4.2 ETH, you'll get 1% of the tokens. 0.1, you'll get 0.1% of the tokens. But what's different is everyone gets the same starting price of the market cap. So instead of that dev buy getting in at like a 2,000 market cap and the last buyer getting in at a 50,000 market cap, everyone gets in at the same 50K market cap, kind of making it your first, in my opinion, truly fair launch option. So when it goes live on this case on Uniswap, everyone will be right there equal, really create that community, allow everyone to push it together. And you won't have that one or two people waiting that got in at 10K market cap or 2K market cap waiting to dump on everyone because everyone's kind of got that level playing field. So it's a big part. I mean, of course, on top of that, we're going to have multiple bonding curves. Maybe you got a little tiny meme token you want to launch. You can go ahead and set it at a 25K bonding curve. You have kind of middle of the road. You can go ahead and set it at a 50K bonding curve, or you can set it at a 75K bonding curve. Maybe you want a little bit bigger liquidity pool. And of course, we got that cha-ching function where we're going to be distributing 50% of the revenue to that entire platform, which is really cool. So that's going to be probably the coolest feature.
And this is for anybody that just wants to look at a meme and understand how it's all going to work. There you go. Nice and easy.
Funny. But yeah, let's go ahead. I'm seeing some questions I do want to address. So this one right here asking about the price on Infinaeon based on the stakeholders. So as a founder, legal reasons, I never talk about the price directly. It's something that we don't bring up very often unless I'm stating pure fact, but something to keep in mind. Yes, we have a lot of tokens staked. I think like 80 million plus, but there's still off the top of my head, like 170 million tokens on the open market. So while there are a lot of tokens staked, keep in mind, there are also a lot of tokens on the open market. So just wanted to point that out. Our guy Chuck talking about the rewards token or the distribution token on the platform. Yes, it's going to automatically gain holders and transactions. And of course, there'll be people that use the platform that don't even realize they're getting it. So, it'll just get sent. And then kind of to follow that up, I kind of wanted to answer these in tandem. It is going to be collected or giving out on the Solana network. So the tokens that go, if you use that platform, into your wallet from Infinion will be Infinion Solana. But again, a lot of people kind of get really confused with this. This is not a new token launch. I can't find another way to say it more clearly because people are going to get confused. We are not launching a new token on Solana. This is the Infinion token, the same supply. So that 170 million tokens that I said are still out there, it's coming from those tokens bridging over to Solana, and it's just going to be a new LP pool, no different than when you go to Bitmart or Biconomy or MEXC or Binance. It's just another DEX that you can go ahead and buy it on. Now, of course, it's on the biggest DEX, the biggest chain, so that's a great thing. So just, again, we're still going to get asked that question nonstop about it being a new token, but yes, it is not a new token. It is the Infinion token. So you'll receive it in Infinion Solana on the Solana blockchain. If you want to hold it on the EVM side, you can bridge it over to the Infinion chain or to the Ethereum chain. It'll be completely up to you how you want to hold it, but they're all the same tokens regardless of where you're holding it, whether it's Radium, whether it's Uniswap, whether it's PancakeSwap, or no, not PancakeSwap, excuse me, Infinity Swap or Bitmart. It doesn't matter. It's all the same token.
All right, man. I am pumped. And as well, yeah, we got 50% back right now too to any devs, right? And that's once this launches on Solana too, Sean, right? There's going to be some massive incentives for developers to get over here, start launching. We currently have 50% back. Obviously, you can launch multi-chain. You got Infinion, Base, and Binance right now. But once Solana drops, you're going to see things really, really ramp up here.
Another question, Matt kind of answered it, but does that 50% buy distribute only apply if you hold Infinion on Solana? It does not. It's irrelevant if you hold it. It all depends on the volume that you create on the platform. The more you use the platform, the bigger of a percent of that reward that you're going to get. So it's just automatically going to get hit back to your wallet, regardless if you're holding it or not. So I know Matt got all of those. And then Bill Jeff Race got a lot of questions. But we love it, though. Perfect. But it doesn't matter if you were adding volume to BNB. Volume is volume, and you will be rewarded correct. Yeah, volume is volume at the end of the day. When someone gets on CoinMarketCap, you're going to see our total volume across everywhere. It's going to be no different. So the Radium LP pool will be added to CoinMarketCap. So the volume that's getting created on Radium will pop up just like it does with Uniswap and Bitmart and stuff like that on CMC for you to be able to track it. So that's the best place to kind of look at volume, I would say. It's CoinMarketCap. It just kind of gives you the overall volume. Most of our volume I know is on Bitmart. So, it's just a good spot to go look just if you're interested in just the pure volume. And it'll be no different once Solana is on there.
And we love that volume because with volume comes transactions. And with transactions means, again, the underlying asset of Infinion gets that bolster in, and every token that is paired with it also benefits from that. So it's exciting times, dude. Really is exciting times. Chuck, if only there was some guy that I love to play liquidity games on Solana, he'd be very happy right now. Oh wait, oh yeah, I wonder who that is. There's gonna be a lot of arbitrage heads around there that are gonna be licking their lips right now. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I guess I got a question too. What's everyone's favorite part of what's coming up, especially on the Solana side? It's like, I guess you could say hard to choose. If I had to pick, I mean, I love the ICO option, but I'd have to go with the cha-ching function personally. I just again, imagine if Pump Fund did that, half of their revenue, how crazy that would be.
Right.
That you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars getting distributed back to the platform. In this case, you'd be talking about tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars buying Infinion. Like, it would be absolutely insane. So I really like the feature of actually giving back to the user of the platform. We're not just taking the hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, it's not hundreds of millions, but I'm talking in Pump Fund's case, just taking that hundred of millions of dollars, heading over, liquidating all that Solana, and then, just moving on to the next thing. So yeah, it's going to be something really cool. And just like our whole ecosystem, it's just all about increasing the ecosystem. And sooner or later, people are going to catch on how cool it is when funds are getting distributed back within that ecosystem.
I hear Mike.
It's going to be awesome.
Mike, his call must have dropped. Hey, Mike, what are your thoughts? What's your favorite thing about this whole rollout?
I love the 3 different bonding curves. This is something I really enjoy. I know a lot of devs. They are looking to hit the bonding curve very quick, and with I think we decided the lowest is 25K, if I'm right. They can get there very quick, and they still get a portion of the bonding fee. So it's cool for the dev. This is what I really, really like. I mean, it's very similar to the ICO. It's a quick thing, but you don't need something like pre-sale or something. It's a classic launch. Just at the lower bonding curve. I think this is a bullish thing. Can't wait to have it on the UVM side as well. But yeah, Sol is something that it's going to. I think people will see us. We'll do a huge marketing campaign around that. But the cha-ching function is also very cool. So the idea is cool. If people, if they recognize, okay, I get something back, I trade there, I hold my token or whatever, and the dev also gets some money back. We share it. It's a social thing. I think people will be excited. It's all about exposure right now, and we're working on it. We're everywhere every day. The community is very active, bullish. We see this obviously these profile pictures everywhere. So it's nothing but cool. We can reach our goals. Definitely, we can do it.
Yeah, and that money going back like to the dev, to the community, whether it's, if you go the ICO option or you just go the standard launch, no matter what way you look at it, like that money going back to the community and going back into the project is just, it's such a boost, right? Because it's so hard when you launch right away and then you bond and you're like, shit, what now? It's like, all right, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I need to you don't necessarily have to like rip the chart down or whatever like that. It's it just gives you that extra little boost that you need, and that's something that we're trying to do with Lunar Pump as a whole. Like that's one of the things. And you got obviously that's 50% back, then you got the cha-ching, then there's going to be a staking option within the platform as well. So these are all ways for like communities to, like, you got the option to like take the ICO, like I said, stay safe, or then you hang on in there and you're actually generating revenue there while you're bonding, like if people are staking, and like as Sean's mentioned, the cha-ching function. So there's just so many like awesome ways that developers would like want to choose this option. And then not to mention, you got multiple chains that you can choose on. Hey, maybe you wake up one day like, hey, well, let's try one on Base, or let's do one on Infinion. Hey, let's give back to the Infinion crew and start building that up. But yeah, I mean, it's awesome, dude. I haven't seen anything else like it out there, to be honest.
Yep. And I mean, the cool thing is that it's like a win-win, because we're getting that 50% revenue, but there's also the ecosystem is getting something out of it by buying Infinion and then distributing it, bringing in new holders, whether they know it or not. So it's just a really cool, it's at first we were just going to do native Sol, but we decided to a certain extent that was kind of like a wasted opportunity. So that's why we switched to Infinion being the official distribution token of Lunar Pump. Just kind of wanted to, again, give it that use case. The token isn't really being used for anything right now. Again, of course, it gets kickbacks, but it's not being used for anything. So yeah, it's just a really cool idea. And then, of course, there's going to be a portion of the revenue that just buys it straight up and not be distributed. So
yeah, I'm not sure what Deplorable is saying here. Yeah, cha-ching is pretty sweet, but it's too hard to choose. LOL. Maybe Sol in general. Oh, trying to choose exactly which is the best.
I guess just being on Solana in general.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I mean, that obviously, yeah, that's awesome, and that's a good call. That encompasses a lot, right? But definitely being open to that market there, and then you add in the actual use case for the token itself, delivering back to the ecosystem and Lunar Pump. I think it's great, man. I'm really bullish on it.
And yes, Sol, Infinion Sol will trade on Radium, and you will be able to hold it in Phantom. Correct. Yep. And then you don't have to. If you want to hold it on the EVM side, you can bridge it. You can hold it wherever you want. But yes, if you do want to hold it on the Solana side, you can hold it in your Phantom wallet. Yep. And Infinion Ants asking if we're going to be verified. This might be more of a Matt question. Are you referring to Lunar Pump, or are you referring to the token itself? Because I know we're going through a verification, or making it to where whatever you use and connect to the Phantom wallet doesn't give you that big message, this could be a scam, blah, 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 whatever it is. So we are getting that taken care of.
Yeah, and just on that too, how's the iOS side things going at the moment with the wallet? Are you still last submission?
We're still gathering some info. They need some more info. We're working with a company that is actually doing the transactions and stuff like that to get everything that we need answered. I mean, it's a headache, I'm not gonna lie, to get all the questions answered. They wanted, money laundering stuff, all that fun stuff. They need to make sure none of that's going on. So we're getting there. This is exactly why when you see any Web3 product, you typically see the Android side come out way before the iOS side, because Android just approves it like that. It was like less than 24 hours and we were up and running on Android. But Apple, it's got a lot of questions.
Bro, Apple just stopped short of asking for your firstborn, bro.
No joke. When I was creating my organizational account, it literally took me like a month just to create my organizational account. I mean, they had me jumping through every hoop you could have possibly imagined. I was like, there's no way there's possibly more questions. They got to give me approval. And sure enough, hit you with more questions. So it was a process for sure.
For sure.
And I kind of created it beforehand, though. It was for the Lunar Pump Fund social. We've definitely not forgotten about that. It's going to be a big part of Lunar Pump Fund Soul. When we do pumpathons and all those different things and do give out rewards, we're going to be doing a lot of that on that social site. So that's something that we're super bullish on, and it's something that we are going to continue to grow. I know we haven't been talking tons about it, but it has not been forgotten, and we're going to continue to beef it up. You know, we want to get to the point where you can even hold spaces on that platform. So anyone, you know, doing crypto can come over, hold spaces, and it's just going to be a crypto X basically.
Yeah, dude, there's so much going on. And that's the thing, if you don't mention any one thing, that like when you're focusing on like 3 or 4 things, you're still forgetting about probably like 10 things, you know. So it's like it's so hard to kind of to gauge it. But yeah, we touched on the wallet there. The wallet's awesome. It's going to have like full Infinity Swap integration. I believe the bridge is in there. And you know, it's going to be like a one-stop shop, nice and easy for all things basically Infinaeon, Lunar Pump, like that. It's going to be tailored custom for that. So yeah, take a look at it. Looking sleek and sexy. That's a good looking wallet right there. And for anybody that's watching that's kind of new and is just kind of getting involved with Infinion, like all these products that we're showing, like for the most part, like they're all out there, they're all built, they're all functional. The reason you're coming or stumbling onto us right now is because that's all that's been going on for the most part for the last however long year or more, even than that, is building, getting all this ready. And what you're seeing now is basically the marketing for all this starting to roll out. Yeah, that's the wallet. It's, as Sean said, it's getting ready to, we're still battling the final boss that is Apple to get that on the App Store, especially when it comes to Web3. That ain't easy. But it's in the process, getting there. And yeah, as we mentioned, the social Lunar Pump Social app that's over there, that's going to be ramping up as well. There's just so many products, and like I said, marketing's just rolling out now. So as things kind of come and there's a new kind of phase on whatever the product is, we'll kind of drop the update here on Infinaeon Friday, Moon Monday, whichever it is, Lunar Pump Radio, any of the spaces that we do, all of that stuff. So yeah, just trying to stay on top of it all. But as the marketing rolls out, you know, all this is kind of ready. You know, we were kind of the thought, you know, you want to, if you're going to go to war, right, you don't want to have to make ammunition the day before you got to shoot it, right? You want to have a nice big arsenal ready, and you want to get ready to hit the ground running and make an impact like as soon as you take off. So that's kind of what's been going on here at Infinion for the most part, not just when it comes to products, but when it comes to like content as well, and personally on our own side. and making sure we got tons of content out there. We got tons of ways for people to be able to spread the word. Got good videos. We're upgrading our AI at the moment. We dropped it a while back, but things have come on, advancements in AI have come on, so we're fine-tuning and tweaking all that at the moment. So we're going to be providing tools for people to be able to make awesome posts and stuff again properly. There's one out there now, but it's mediocre in my opinion, so I kind of pulled it down for now. But any of the new people, best place to go kind of for a good overview, an idea, and get a kind of a more entertaining, interactive view at your own pace is probably the white paper. It's whitepaper.infinaeon.com. Go over and check that out if you're new. And like I said, it's a great resource to just share with people to give them an idea of what's going on. And we update that regularly with new stuff coming out. I do got to get on the bits now, seeing they've been dropped. So I'll update that here now. Don't anybody give out to me, please.
Yep. And get any final questions you have. We are coming up on that hour mark, so we're going to be closing it out here very soon. But Mr. P, if you can go ahead, we do have some content from our original token that launched on the chain, Patient Zero. Dev is there pushing it. It's going to be a meme token that we want to grow with the chain. So he went ahead and made some videos, kind of giving some teases on what's going on. So I did want to play that for him before we go ahead and start closing it out. Mr. P, if you want to go ahead, it's 2 parts. We'll go ahead and knock both of those out, and then we'll kind of get in. So while these videos are playing, any questions you have, get them up, and then we'll go ahead and get those knocked out before we close it out. All right, and I believe we have one more part.
they were afraid. And now they saw for the very first time how easy it was to just let go. All your life, not all your love, all your hate, all your memory, all your pain, it was all the same thing. It was all the same dream, a dream that you had inside a locked room.
Bro,
All
what
right.
media are you consuming?
Yeah, and also I wanted to hold on. Let me see. Can you move your stuff off screen, Mr. P? I want to pop this up real quick.
Pop
Yes,
it up.
So, Patient Zero website, and Halloween is going to be here before we know it. So, obviously, a perfect project to go ahead and push, especially as we start approaching Halloween. And again, it's Patient Zero. It was the first token affected by the Infinaeon blockchain. So hop over to the Telegram, to that Twitter. Any questions you have about the video or any upcoming utility, obviously hit them up, the dev up on the Telegram, and go ahead and get those questions answered. Also, some breaking news that I got during the video. The DApp for the bits are ready. So Matt is in the process of getting everything set up to go ahead and distribute those rewards. So probably won't be there in the next minute or two when we close out, but Matt will be getting that started. So you go ahead. If we haven't said the official website, it is bits.infinion.com will be where you claim it. So when Matt gets that drop, we'll go ahead and make an announcement in the chat.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah, we're a little bit past the hour, guys. If you want to go ahead and say some final words before I go ahead and close it out.
Yeah, I just wanted to just touch on the Patient Zero thing there, because I did see some comments coming in about it. I'm just curious. I got to find out what engine are you using? Are you using Unreal, or are you using Unity, or what engine are you using to build it? It looks good. The in-game footage looked pretty cool. I'm assuming that a lot of those other ones, the kind of burn the bridge thing, I think that might have been AI, so kind of concept stuff, but it looks great. I mean, the feel is great, the vibe is great. I love those classic horror games. Like, dude, you get a good one of those that really freaks you out, dude, they're awesome. Oh, Unreal Engine. Okay, he's using Unreal Engine. His PC is dying. Bro, you're preaching to the choir here. I've had my eye on a rig for years, bro, and I'm struggling to get there, but I feel like it's coming. Everybody, moon us quick so Mr. P can get a new rig, and Patient Zero can also get a new rig. Probably everybody here will probably end up buying a new rig if when that happens. But yeah, it looks great, man. Great job. I'm excited. I saw 620 on there. I'm not sure if that is I'd assume that's a date that something is going to be happening here soon. Are we going to get like another teaser? Or are we going to get maybe a demo or something? Yeah, I'm excited to see it, and building it on Unreal as well. Yeah, Unreal is quality. So great job, man. How about you guys? You like the horror genre games? Sean, Mike, you into that?
Oh, for sure. I love horror
Resident
genre
Evil.
with anything, whether it be games, movies, whatever. Definitely love it. And but yeah, I keep thinking about, Halloween's crazy to say, but Halloween will be here before we know it. So yeah, it'll be a really cool thing to go ahead and push.
Okay, so that 620 was the Solana release date. Well, keep it up, Patient Zero, brother. That is awesome. Everybody's riding the wave out there now, whether you're meme coin or you're DeFi or this or you're that. So whatever. The key is exactly what Patient Zero is doing, what we're all trying to do here, what every smart person is doing is picking good projects, keeping your head down, grinding it out, working, building in these downtimes is super important. That's what makes winners, baby.
Mike, Any final words?
My final words are I really enjoyed the video, guys. Patience here is cool. It's very cool. And I searched for the soundtrack 28 days later. There was a part of it in the video. I really enjoy the sound. Horror movie fan here, so yeah, it's a cool thing. Yeah, that's my final words today, guys.
All right, guys. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and close it out. Couple things. Bit rewards just got the news. They are distributed. So if you have bits, go to bits.infinion.com and claim your first bits of rewards. The Infinaeon Solana token will be going live midweek. We are planning it. I'll say it as of Wednesday right now. If anything changes, we'll definitely let you know on Moon Monday. But as of right now, Infinion on Sol, the token, native token, is going to be going live midweek. And of course, we'll be back Moon Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. But that's going to do it for today's stream. And until next time, guys, trade safe.